What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 152, and we start today's episode off by making another big signing. Sumaro, I'm still not sure how you pronounce this guy's name, but I'll call him Sumaro for now, has come in for £10 million plus Kirikez, so it's a pretty expensive deal really when you consider it. It's about 16.5 million in total, but that's his valuation. He's 87 overall, 27 years old, so he could still grow to an 88, 89 if we're lucky. So a very, very expensive deal there. We also got a transfer offer for Nelson Oliveira. It was one of our old clubs, Millwall, that want him for 11.5 million, but we asked for 25.5 and they're not going to accept that, which is fine because I want to keep him here. But yeah, Sumaro, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, came in for £10 million plus Kirikez. So Kirikez leaves, but we get the replacement, which is Sumaro. So I did say during the transfer window that one of the things I was looking to do was, well, the main priority was get Courtois into the side, or get a new goalkeeper, I should say. Then look to re-sign Gareth Bale and possibly sign a new centre-half, and we've done that in Sumaro, and he looks very, very good. 87 overall, unbelievably strong, fantastic defensive stats. He's 97 for strength. He looks really, really good. So it's another big signing here at Spurs, and yeah, I'm happy with that. You know, I'm actually really surprised that Lille only wanted £10 million plus Kirikez, because Kirikez is good, yes, but he's 29 years old. So you'd imagine after this season he'll probably start to decrease in overall, because that's how the game works under EA. But Sumaro, you know, at 27 years old, you know, he's 5 ratings better than Kirikez, although he's only valued at 16.5 million, which in total is what we gave to Lille. You know, 10 million plus a 6.5 million pound value player in Kirikez. I'm still quite surprised that that deal actually came off. I didn't think it would, but even so, I'm very happy it has. And as you can see, Corker has actually dropped to the bench for the time being, which kind of sucks, to be honest. But when you consider the fact there's a 5 rating gap between Corker and Sumaro, it's not a real surprise. So Corker will drop to the bench for the time being, and that's still not bad, because he'll still play in all our midweek games and all our cup games and so on. But even so, it doesn't mean the captaincy has to change. We've given it to Gareth Bale for the time being, just because he is, of course, a wondrous player, and he's back at White Hart Lane. I think he deserves it, really. But Bale is going to re-captain us, and we take on Sunderland for the first game of today's episode here at White Hart Lane. And the first chance would fall in the 13th minute as Gareth Bale, now sporting the captain's armband, gets onto the ball down the right hand side, skips past Jack Colback, gets back onto his left foot with the ball rolling reverse step over, finds Daniel Sturridge, but the header is simply caught by Raphael. But the game and the first half in general was really, really poor. I could not break Sunderland down, couldn't seem to find any space whatsoever. In injury time, our second attempt in this game came when Christian Eriksen got onto the ball, chipped it in towards Sturridge, but his header was brilliantly saved by Raphael. And as the ball was cleared, the referee blew for half time, and the score was Spurs 0, Sunderland 0. And to be honest, I came off the pitch and the players did as well, and I was thinking, this really isn't working for us. You know, I'm not playing very well. Maybe it's the custom tactic is not working for us. I need to change back to one I'm more familiar with. But to be honest, we came off the pitch, and I was definitely confident in the second half we could perform a little bit better. But the first chance would actually fall to Sunderland in the second half, and in the 47th minute, Mavrias got past Chalobah, then got past Sumaro, but could only put his shot into the side netting. So what a chance for Sunderland to get themselves in front here at White Hart Lane. And Mavrias, no, he was not happy with himself there. It was still 0-0, but straight from the goal kick, I give the ball away with Lamela. It's won back by the American Josie Altidore. He rolls the ball forward to the Scottish striker Stephen Fletcher. Somehow there was no centre-backs back, and as Cher chased back alongside Sumaro, Cher ended up bringing down Fletcher from behind, and the referee has no choice but to award a penalty. So Cher brings down the Scottish striker, and the former Wolves striker goes down, maybe a little bit easily, but it's definitely a penalty regardless. And Sunderland in the 50th minute had a chance to take a shock lead at White Hart Lane. It was Nacer Chadli, the former Spurs man, that would stand up against his Belgian colleague Courtois. It's Chadli against Courtois. Chadli takes it, but thankfully for us, he blazes the ball over the bar, and the score is still 0-0. So it's a huge, huge let-off for us here, because Sunderland should have taken a lead on 2 separate occasions, and that was the best one, the best chance, and they completely missed it, and it was still 0-0. So relief for us, really. Had to respond straight away, and we did in the 55th minute. Sunderland try and get the ball away here, but the ball, which is supposed to be cleared, hits the backside of Daniel Sturridge, falls to Lamela, and it is a wonderful strike by the left midfield. A really, really good half volley into the bottom corner. And Daniel Sturridge ends up polishing the wrong boot there. It was actually his left foot, not his right foot, that he got the goal with. So Lamela gets the goal. Sturridge polishes the right boot for no reason. And it's Spurs 1, Sunderland 0. As you can see, it's an assist for Daniel Sturridge's backside there. Really nice pass. But yeah, wonderful finish by Lamela. And it's a really, really good one. I've seen a couple of people in the comments saying I should look to replace Lamela, but I'm not really sure why. He's very, very decent. You know, he may not be the most quickest of wingers traditionally, but he's got some fantastic technical stats. And he is, of course, 85 overall. So very decent player, and I got no plans to replace him. So Lamela makes it 1-0 here. In the 62nd minute, though, Sunderland had another great chance to get themselves a goal here, and they passed the ball around really nicely in this game. I could not get the ball off Gus Poyet Sunderland at all. Every single pass was accurate as hell, and eventually the ball falls to Chadley, and Chadley makes amends for missing the penalty by bobbing and weaving and getting past the 2 slide tackles and putting the ball past Courtois. So the Belgian, the former Spurs man, makes it Spurs 1, Sunderland 1, and they are on level terms here, and you have to say, deservedly so as well. They were playing quite well, but in the 66th minute, a good chance for us to get ourselves back in front. Bale and Barkley play a lovely 1-2. The new skipper goes down the right hand side, but his shot is well saved by Raphael, but thankfully it falls to the one man you'd want it to fall to. That's Daniel Sturridge, and Sturridge gets the goal to make it 2-1. So Spurs 2, Sunderland 1, and thankfully for us, we are back in front in this game, and I was very relieved as well, because it would have been very embarrassing for us had we not won this game. But even so, Sunderland, they weren't going to give up, and they kept attacking here, and eventually the ball comes in here. Another great chance for Mavrias, but Courtois makes a good save. So Sunderland had 3 or 4 amazing chances in this game to get some goals, but they weren't taking them. And in the 86th minute, a great chance for us to seal it on the break. Julian Draxler gets on the ball, chips it over the top towards Christian Eriksen. He just about has enough pace to get around his man, but unfortunately he drags his shot wide of the post. So still Spurs 2, Sunderland 1, and that's how the game would finish. So I have to admit, I came into the game and I was feeling very, very confident we'd have a relatively routine win, to be honest. But I have to say, Sunderland, they deserved a point in that game. They played just as good as we did, and I was relieved that we would end the game with the 3 points, because I think, to be honest, a draw would have been a fair result. With all the chances they had, I'm surprised they only scored 1, and that missed penalty really was the icing on the cake for us. But anyway, after that we saw that Nelson Oliveira, Millwall are not going to match the 25.5 million counter offer we asked for, which is fine because I didn't want to sell them anyway. And we also decided to request some funds because I completely forgot all about this. I should have done it in episode 150, but I completely forgot all about it. We request £5 million, but as you'll see here, Daniel Levy says no. He says, I've already given you like £6 billion already. I'm not giving you any more. So we're not going to get any more money, which is fine really, because we've got no more transfer targets anymore. We've got all the players we want, so yeah, we're just going to leave it there. But the following game was against Rosenborg here at White Hart Lane. Of course, we took them on in Scandinavia in the previous leg last week, and we drew by 2-2, so we had the upper hand in this game. Rosenborg, of course, had to score because we had those 2 away goals, but of course they scored 2 goals at home, when we were away from home, so they're definitely capable of getting the goals, no doubt about it. But I still put out a relatively weak side. There was no players that started in the game on the weekend against Sunderland in this team. Of course, we've got quite a few fixtures in a row coming up. We've got this game here on Thursday night, and we've got to take on Real Madrid in the Copa Europe. Then we've got a game against Watford on the weekend, and then we've got a Capital One Cup game against Notts County all in the space of a week. So we've got quite a lot of games in quick succession. So that's why I need to make sure all the players would be rested, and I definitely felt my backup side would be good enough. And in the 30th minute, Tom Carroll dispossesses his man way too easily, finds Andros Townsend, and what we really needed here at White Hart Lane was an early goal in the first half to take the pressure off, and thankfully we got it. Andros Townsend ran clear of the 2 defenders chasing him, dinked the ball over the goalkeeper and found the back of the net. So a great finish by Townsend, lots of pace, good chip over the keeper, and it's Spurs 1, Rosenborg 0. So Rosenborg had to score at least 1 goal in this game, now they had to score 2. So good finish by Andros Townsend, and as I said, the pressure was then off us, because the first half an hour was kind of nervy, kind of tense, but after Townsend scored there, the pressure was completely off, and we now felt completely in control of the tie. And in the 40th minute here, we get the ball with Danny Rose down the left hand side. He gets past the number 2 and rolls the ball out wide towards Tom Carroll, who was the architect in this game, playing really well for us with all the good passing. He finds Danny Welbeck. Welbeck gets past his man, rolls the ball back into Tom Carroll. It's cleared away only as far as Nelson Oliveira. He rolls the ball off to Glenn Robinson, and Robinson scores against Rosenborg again. So it's 2 goals in 2 games for Glenn Robinson, the new signing who's come in for 7 million plus Bentaleb from Newcastle. Makes it 2 goals in 2 games, and the Rosenborg goalkeeper must be sick of the sight of him. So Robinson makes it 2-0, and in the 48th minute we let fly with Corker here from an absolute mile out, but the goalkeeper has quite a simple save. To be honest, it was quite a routine stop for him, but even so I wanted to include it because it would have been nice to see Corker score a wonder goal from range. But Corker, of course, he's going to be our cup captain, if you will. Strikes the ball from range, but it's quite a simple save for the goalkeeper, and it's still 2-0 as things stand. In the 84th minute here The game was being sealed. Rosenborg needed 3 goals in 6 minutes. It wasn't going to happen. And in the 85th minute, Welbeck plays the ball forward towards Nelson Oliveira. The defender makes the challenge, but he then gives the ball away. Nelson Oliveira stops the ball and finesses it into the bottom corner. So the game is sealed with 3.5 minutes to go. Spurs 3, Rosenborg 0. On aggregate, Spurs 5, Rosenborg 2. And we are going through to the Champions League group stages. So a good finish by Nelson Oliveira. It was careless defending by the Rosenborg centre-half. And that is the game. So we win by 3 goals to 0. As you can see, Darlow just picked the ball up here and dribbled out of the box. The referee blows for full time, and we have secured our place into the Champions League group stages. So I got to be honest, I came into the second leg and I was a little bit fearful actually, because I thought we'd get the business done in the first leg. We didn't play very well, so we had to play a lot better in the second leg, but we did. We played a lot better in this game, and we are through to the group stages. And there's a lot of relief here at White Hart Lane, because of course going out in the Champions League qualifiers would have been so embarrassing. I probably would have got sacked for it. So we're through to the group stage, which is great. And after that, the last thing you'll see is that Tom Bennett has accepted his contract. This is a random free agent left back I found. He's 24 years old, he's English, he'll just be here for cover. He's only going to cost us 10 grand a week, and he's 71 overall, and he's got some decent stats just to sit in the reserves and in case we ever have a defensive crisis. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, it's much appreciated and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow afternoon.